Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Make Your Mark. And oh boy, do I have a guest for you. He is amazing. Now, his name is Jordan. And Jordan is 34 years old. Wait, hold on a second.
No, I what? No, I'm not
You
34
was
years old.
34 years old.
Many years ago, I was 34 years
All right. Now, at 34 years old, Jordan Adler was living in an enclosed garage. His rent was $200 a month and he had two roommates. He carried $36,000 in credit card debt and his job paid him $14,000 a year. He had tried 11 network marketing companies in 10 years and never signed up a single person and never made a single penny. And so the future looked really bleak for Jordan. Now, today, he is one of the highest paid network marketers in the world as the #1 affiliate with a legacy company called Promptings. Guess what, guys? He cracked the code. And now his best-selling book, Beach Money, has sold over 1 million copies, and 100% of the profits of his book are donated to an organization that helps entrepreneurs in developing countries start small businesses through microloans. That's right, guys. It all goes to charity. Now, he has spoken on stages with Richard Branson, Tony Robbins, Pitbull, and Eric War. Jordan believes that when you continue to send good vibes, good things out to the world and treat people the right way, good things will come your way. Oh my goodness, Jordan, welcome to Make Your Mark podcast. So excited to have you here.
Thank you, Kay. It's great to see you again. We had some good times on the cruise ship, didn't we?
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. That's where we met and we connected, and I learned so much about you and what you did. Right.
Well, I feel like we've known each other forever, the moment we met.
And so I knew from that point I had to have you on the podcast, right? Because you have been through so many ups and downs. I'm not going to give much away right now because I want you to tell the audience, but you went through a journey. And so
yeah, I'm still going through a journey.
Right. Well, so we all are going through a journey, but from going to living in a garage, right, having no money to where you are today, I know that didn't happen overnight, right? There was things that happened on that journey to get to where you are today. So I would love for you to share with the audience today a little bit about what that looked like for you.
Absolutely. Thanks, Kay. I'm actually going to go back a little further. I grew up in the south suburbs of Chicago, and I was always wired as an entrepreneur. I don't know why, because I didn't grow up in an entrepreneurial family.
Oh.
My father made $28,000 a year at his peak. And in fact, when my father passed away 8 years ago, our family home, I sold it for $9,800. 98, not at 98,000, not 980,000, $9,800. That's the home I grew up in. So I was in a lower middle income neighborhood in the south suburbs of Chicago. But I was wired as an entrepreneur. So I would do things like paper routes and lemonade stands and things like that. And when I got a little older into my teens, late teens, I started reading personal development books. And I did go to college. I paid my way through college by working. I didn't get to take out any loans. Right out of college, I moved to Arizona with a degree, a guitar, a suitcase, and $250. And I started trying out different entrepreneurial things, but I had jobs along the way. And over the course of the next 10 years, I got involved in 11 different network marketing companies, never signed up a single person, never made one penny. And I was, like you said in the intro, I was 34 years old, living in an enclosed garage. I had two roommates that lived in the house. We each paid $200 a month, $36,000 in credit card debt. I had a Jeep broken down in the street that I hadn't driven in 2 years, couldn't afford to fix it. My job, I was working for an airline, and the company that I was working for filed bankruptcy. They cut my pay from $28,000 a year to $14,000 a year. So at the age of 34, I was earning $14,000 a year, living in an enclosed garage. It sounds so crazy to me today, but I got involved with my 12th network marketing company. And at that point, I figured things out. I kind of cracked the code, learned how to network and how to set up an appointment and how to give a simple presentation and how to follow up. And then mindset, you're staying in the game, So what happened was on my 12th company, I started in network marketing. I started signing up about one person a month. I had met a guy. The guy's name was Russ Devan. Russ was in his late 20s at the time that I met him many, many years ago. And he was living in what I consider to be a mansion in Scottsdale, Arizona, with a big circle drive and a nice fountain out front. And I met Russ, and this is before I'd ever made a penny in any type of a business. And he told me that in the business of recruiting, whether you're talking about real estate, insurance, network marketing, or anything else, when you're in a business where you recruit people, you need to be prepared to recruit 20 to 30 people before you find one that's going to do anything worth talking about. And so I'd never heard that before, because every company I get involved in, I would invite 2 or 3 people to take a look at it. They would be negative and I would quit. And then 6, 7, 8 months later, I would join another one. And same thing, I'd talk to a few people, I'd invite some people to some meetings, and nobody would show up, and a couple of them were negative. And so I thought there was something wrong. And so I would quit. And I did that for 10 years, 11 different companies. When I joined my 12th company, I had talked to Russ. Russ taught me that I need to be in consistent action a little bit every day for a couple of years. And so here's the way I thought about it. I thought if I could give 3 presentations a week, if I did that every week and I did that for a month, that would be 12 presentations a month. If 11 of them said no and 1 said yes, if I did that every single month for 2 years, that's 1 person a month for 2 years. That's 24 people, which would put me in the range of 20 to 30. So I actually tracked myself, and I started giving an average of 3 presentations a week at a little coffee place right downstairs from where my job was at the airline. I didn't have money to buy people lunch, so I would buy them coffee, or I'd make them buy me lunch. And these are people that I knew from the airline, and the airline was in bankruptcy, and so they were laying people off. And so I had lots of people to meet with, and I asked them if they'd sit down with me. I want to show an idea, give them an idea. And we would sit down and I'd explain what I was doing. And then what happened was, over 2 years, I signed up 9. I didn't sign up my 24. My goal was 24, 1 a month, but I signed up 19 in 2 years. So less than 1 a month. My 16th person was a lady named Jackie Ulmer. Do you know Jackie, Kay?
No, I don't.
So Jackie was a analyst at the airline, married to an airline pilot. And she had a friend in New Mexico named Judy Dubiel, who was a student and a secretary. So I brought Jackie in as my 19th person. And 19th person. And 16th, it was the 19th, I'm pretty sure. It's either the 16th or the 19th. I'm a little dyslexic on that. Pretty sure it's the 19th. Anyway, Jackie signed up Judy, and Judy started inviting people to her home. Now, network marketing is done differently today than it was back then. But over the next 3 years, Judy built a group of 12,000 affiliates, 12,000 distributors, and 40,000 customers. And I made my first $1 million. And I moved out of the garage, and I started flying on private jets, and I started hanging out in mansions with friends and upgrading my lifestyle, buying cars and all that. Living back then, my priorities, my values were a little bit different, but I still love a good life. But so that's kind of how I grew my business. And then what happened was, talk about setbacks. What happened was, after 13 years with that company, and I had a huge income and I had this amazing life, what happened was the technology changed radically. And we were a technology network marketing company where everything went digital. And we owned hundreds of millions of dollars in digital, in analog switching stations around the world. And what happened was, in 3 months, those switching stations, when digital got launched, those switching stations became obsolete. So we went from a $1.5 billion company to a $300 million company in 6 months. And our income went away. Yeah. So then at that point, that was after 13 years, I had lots of savings and I had some equity in real estate and things. So I had plenty of time, but I jumped into a new opportunity 19 years ago on the 27th. The 27th of this month, it'll be 19 years. I jumped into another opportunity. I'm an independent distributor called Send Out Cards, Promptings. Promptings is the name of our company.
Right.
And I've been the top distributor with them for years now. And I just did what I did over there, I did here, only a lot faster. And so, I mean, I could go on and on. There's lots of stories, lots of setbacks, lots of triumphs. But it's a constant journey. You know, we all go through it in all different parts of our career.
Absolutely. But Jordan, right? Like you said that it was not until your 12th networking company that actually skyrocketed for you. Like at that point, most people would have given up and be like, oh my goodness, I'm not doing this. This clearly doesn't work, right? You've done it 11 times, 11 different companies. So what was the one thing that kept you going, right? And not stopping and trying all these different companies?
Well, the truth is, Kay, because I get asked that question a lot. The truth is, I did quit. I quit over and over again. So I would quit, and then people ask me what kept you going. Well, the truth is, I would be really motivated, and then I wasn't motivated for a few months, and then I'd get motivated again because I'd find something new, and then I wouldn't be motivated, and I'd go for a few months, and then I'd find something new, and that's what I did, and that's what most people do, and that's why most people never make it.
Right.
I personally had a drive and a dream to have a financially free lifestyle. I wanted to be able to travel the world. I didn't want to have to report to a job. I had that dream, and I knew that the ticket to that dream was a passive income, a residual income, an income that would allow you to get paid over and over and over again for working one time. And there's lots of ways to do that. You can do that through rental real estate. And in most cases, you need to have a lot of cash and a lot of time to make money in rental real estate. Or you could buy vending machines, and you're not going to have a significant passive income until you have, I don't know, 30 to 50 vending machines, and they cost $2,000 to $5,000 each. So there's a big investment up front. I didn't have any money. I was broke, but I did have time. And I did understand the network marketing model. For all the work that you do up front, if you do it effectively, within a short period of time, you'll get a passive check. It may not be very big, but it's going to come in month after month after month. And then over time, you can accumulate an income stream.
Right.
So, for example, if you can put in 5 hours a week and you can find one other person that can put in 5 hours a week, you're now benefiting from 10 hours worth of work a week, but you're only putting in 5. And then if you could recruit somebody else over a period of a year or 2 years, if you produce somebody else that can put in 5 hours a week that will consistently do that, over time, you could maybe have 20 hours a week or 40 hours a week that you're getting paid on each week, but you're only putting in 5. So that was my goal, and I never, ever let go of that dream. And so I continued to pursue that dream until I cracked the code and figured it out. And this was the turning point for me by far.
Okay.
When I realized that the people that made it went through exactly what I went through, the difference was they didn't quit. It's because every time you quit something, you've literally cut off the opportunities to learn the lessons that you need to learn to grow to the next, to get on the other side of it. So I made a conscious decision that I would never quit on a bad day.
Interesting.
So the first 11 companies, when things got tough, I would quit. And it's difficult it's one thing to say it, it's one thing to think it, but when you're in it, when you're in the middle of it and you run into something that's like really hard, it's easy to go, you know what, it's not worth it. Sometimes even if you've got a lot of money invested in it, it's easy to throw in the towel. I just decided, and this has served me for many, many, many years now. I decided when things get tough, I don't quit. I come up with solutions. And that's what entrepreneurs do. Absolutely. Entrepreneurs are problem solvers. They're resourceful. So if you're not resourceful, you will never make it as an entrepreneur. You've got to be able to solve problems. And so when you come up against something that's really difficult, which you always will over and over and over and over again, it's what are you going to do with that? Are you going to transcend it, get to the other side of it, or are you going to throw in the towel? And people that don't make it in business, they all quit on a bad day.
So Jordan, let me ask you this then, because it takes a lot of mental strength, right? To just keep on going when it's not getting you anywhere and you're forced to give up and, all these kind of things. So what was different about this 12th time, right? Because at that moment is where you had the switch, right? And that's where it really all worked out for you. So what was it about that 12th company where you're like, right, no, I've got to make this happen. I can't give up anymore and I got to keep on going.
Yeah, so it wasn't the 12th company. In fact, one of the things I learned is it has nothing to do with the compensation plan, has nothing to do with the product. It has nothing to do with upline leadership or anything like that. It has everything to do with you, what you're choosing to focus on. So I'll tell a story and then I'll go back to, so if you can imagine a fly trying to get through a window in your house, or a hummingbird, we'll use a fly. Fly's trying to get through the window, and 10 feet away, there's a wide open door. That's all the fly would have to do is shift its focus, and it could effortlessly fly to freedom. But it sees the light through that window, and it will not stop. It will literally squelch its little life out on the windowsill, trying to get out through that window. But there's no way that fly's ever going to. So it really does not have to do with how well the fly flies. That fly knows how to fly. It doesn't need a better flying coach. It knows how to fly. It just needs to shift its focus. And one direction leads to death, and the other direction is effortless. And so one of the things I did is I decided I'm going to shift my focus. And so the main area of focus when you're dealing with challenges is always going back to your dream. Some people like dream boards.
Right.
Some people use affirmations, but you want to always go back to your dreams. Like, what was it that got you involved in the first place? What did you get excited about? What were you looking forward to? When you're looking forward to something, you're extremely motivated. When you believe it's possible, but when you lose hope, you get depressed. And when you lose hope in your future because it gets hard and you start going, I don't think I'm going to make it. You've lost hope, so you lose your motivation. So what do you got to do? You have to shift your perspective, get refocused on your dreams. And that comes through staying around the right people and making sure you're constantly in your personal development and reading and constantly writing out what it is you want in your life. The story of your life in the future. What does it look like? All those, that's your vision. So what I did, just to answer your question now, get back to it. In my 12th company, when things got really tough, so my 12th company, here's what happened. On my 9th month, I made $180.
Okay.
That's the first check that I got in 9 months working the business.
Wow.
And on my 9th month, I got $180. And then the next month, the entire company computer system crashed, and they lost my entire organization. So they had no tracking of it. So I stopped getting checks. And this was my 12th company. And I said to him, I remember that I had 3 things that happened like this. I said to myself, I remember saying, this is just like, it's not worth it. I'm going to quit again. And then I made a conscious decision. No, I'm going to be around as long as they continue to try and solve that problem. And I worked with them and they solved the problem. And then on my 3rd year, I was making $3,000 a month.
Wow.
Between my 33rd month, so almost 3 years, and my 40th month, my checks went over $34,000 a month.
Oh, wow.
And then I went on to make millions and millions of dollars with that company. But I had 3 things that happened that I would have had every justification to quit. But I chose to work through it. And as hard as it got, lost sleep and feeling anxiety and wondering if, doubting. But I just made a decision that I wasn't going to quit. And I kept trying to refocus on why I got involved in the first place. I wanted that passive residual check. And I love people. I love serving people. And I knew that there was a lot of things that I could do, a lot of good things I could do in the world. If like my book, Beach Money, 100% of the profits of that book, we've given hundreds of thousands of dollars to kiva.org, which is a micro-lending organization. We've helped literally tens of thousands of entrepreneurs start businesses all over the world through the loans provided through the sale of my book. And that gets me excited,
Absolutely. Absolutely. The fact that the thing is, you can only start helping the world and making an impact once you're able to help yourself, right? Once you've kind of got on track, you've got a roof over your heads, you've got at least the things, to keep you living, right? And the fact that you've gone beyond that and you kept going. The biggest question I've got for you is there anything that you do on your daily basis, right, to keep that mental kind of go-getter attitude up? Because even though you're in a great place now, right, you're doing so many things and you're giving back to the world and, you've created a book, you still get days where it's very up and down.
Yeah, so absolutely.
What you do for yourself to kind of keep on going?
Yeah, I have. I have ups and downs, big ups and downs today. I still do. Everybody does. It's the nature of being human. You're
Yeah.
going to have high highs and low lows, and parts of your life are going to be working perfectly, and other parts of your life are going to be a train wreck,
Wait, are you
right?
saying you can't have a balanced life?
Yeah, nobody's ever. As soon as you have a balanced life, you're dead. Seriously. If you're around people at all, you don't have a balanced life, right? It's just kind of how it is. So
Mhm.
yeah, so I'm not exactly sure where we were going. What was the question? You asked me a question. I don't even remember what it
So
was.
what do you do on a daily basis to kind
Oh,
of keep
yeah,
up
yeah, yeah.
with content?
So every morning, and I do this religiously every single morning. I have a few different rituals, and I really recommend this. And it kind of gets me in it's like a chiropractic adjustment. It's like an alignment that every morning, this is what I do. The first thing I do, as soon as my feet hit the ground, is I drink at least 16 ounces of clean, fresh water.
Okay.
As soon as my feet, which I never did that for years. And then I started doing it. It changed that just in and of itself changed my life. It hydrates your body. It energizes you. You just stand up, get your water, just chug it until you're full of water. It
Okay.
changes your day. The second thing I do is I do 20 minutes where I put on headphones and I listen to really great music and I do breathing. I've got a breathing ritual that I follow.
Ah.
And I use the Wim Hof. It's Wim Hof. Are you familiar with Wim Hof, Kay?
No, I'm not.
Wimhoff. He's a guy from the Netherlands.
Okay.
And whether you like his style or not, he's a very interesting dude. And he's known as the Iceman. He's very, very, very famous, has millions of followers. Anyway,
Ah.
I do 20 minutes of breathing using his ritual.
Wait, is he the guy that goes into ice water?
That's the guy, same guy.
Ah, okay. Then they've got a whole documentary TV
Oh,
series.
yeah, there's
Okay.
lots of stuff on, right? You can go on YouTube and you'll see lots of stuff on. So I do 20 minutes I go through 4 cycles, 20 minutes of his breathing every day. So now I've got water and oxygen in
Mm-hmm.
my brain, right? And in my body. And then I usually, at least 4 or 5 times a week, I get a workout. And then the last thing I do is I've got on my couch here everywhere, I've got 3 different residences and all the couches have books on them. And I'm not one to sit down and read one book from start to finish. I rarely do that, but I have lots of books that I'm reading all the time. And so I also spend anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes a day before I start my day. I don't do my first appointment till 11 a.m.
Ah,
So I
okay.
start off in the morning, the first up until 11, I'm doing personal development. I'm doing my breathing, my water, my workout. I do hot yoga periodically. So, and this has all been over time. It's been an evolution, but this is the way I kind of cue up my day. And even if you go to sleep the night before having a bad day or a bad night, if
Yeah.
you do this in the morning, it gives you a really good start to the day. And then sometimes your days go great, and sometimes they don't go great. You know,
Great.
some days you work hard the whole day, and at the end of the day, you go, "What did I do today? I was totally unproductive." And then other days you do very little, and your business just explodes that day. The right client or the right distributor or affiliate comes to you right at the right time and says the right thing. So if you don't quit on a bad day, you're always going to have a good day at
Ah,
some point.
I like it. I like it. Now, do you do anything different if you are having a bad day, as everyone does? Do you do anything different to get yourself out of that funk?
Yeah, I continue to work. That's different. Most people don't. Most
Right.
people don't. So I like to do the opposite of what most people are going to do. So like, for example, in my type of business, if you think about traditional brick and mortar stores that sell stuff, what do they do what do they do during the holidays? Well, before the holidays, they decorate, they stock up on excess inventory, they hire temporary help to get them through the holidays, and their sales quadruple, right? But
Right.
most people that are independent salespeople and network marketers, what do they do during the holidays? They stop working from October to December. Most, not
Right.
all. And if they've got a job, they have to work and they do their parties and things. But if it's a business where you're responsible for your growth, most of those people stop working. So what I
Absolutely.
decided to do is I started to work harder during the times where other people quit. So other people stop. So that means if I get discouraged, rather than stopping, which is what most people would do, I'm going to work harder those days, even though I don't feel like it. You cannot base your decisions to work You can't decide whether to work based on how you're feeling, because our emotions go up and down. There's lots of days where we don't feel like working. There's lots of days where we don't feel like getting up and getting our workout. There's lots of days that we don't feel like, making connection with the next person. But those are the days you have to work, even though you're not feeling it. If you have that commitment versus trying to do it based on how you're feeling, your business is going to continue to grow. But if you don't, if you make your decisions based on how you're feeling, your business is going to be a train wreck. It's going to be a roller coaster, up and down, and you'll never grow.
Absolutely. And the fact that, especially when you're doing network marketing, right, and you're constantly meeting people and people can feel your energy, right? So if you've got a low energy, people can feel that. And that is when you're going to struggle with connecting with people. Is that right?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's all about energy. So you got to stay energized, and you got to learn to dig deep, dig deep when you're not feeling it.
So,
I mean, there's days that I don't feel like, I have a podcast coming. Today wasn't one of those days. I was excited to meet with you, but there are days where I've got a podcast coming up and I don't feel like it. And I could call and cancel or reschedule, but instead I do it. And usually within a couple of minutes, I'm back in the zone, but I dig deep. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, okay, I want to go back to network marketing a little bit more, right? Because, I get to see your eyes. Yay! People say, network marketing is hard, right? You got to constantly be talking to people, right? You just want to kind of build an online business without having to talk to people. Tell me a few of the tips that where you kind of want to advise our audience regards to network marketing, why it can be easier and why it could be one of the options that, build in their actual finances and business.
You know what? I have to tell you something funny, Kay. I'm on the 37th. I have a condo on the 37th floor of the Waldorf in Las Vegas.
Oh.
And I'm on the 37th floor. And right now, I don't know if you can see this, the window washers. Wait.
Yes.
The window washers are coming down in front of me here. And I don't know if you can see that. Anyway.
Yeah, I see it. Oh my goodness. Why you took your shades off?
It distracted me just a little bit. I'll give you a view of them when they come down a little bit lower. So, what was your question?
So, give us some tips regards to network marketing, why people should do it, and why it can be one of the ways that can actually generate their money rather than going elsewhere.
Yeah, it's something that pays you very little in the beginning for a lot of work. To get paid a lot of money later for almost no work.
Right.
It gives you leverage, just like we were talking about before. You can never get leverage if you're trading time for money.
Right.
In other words, if there is an individual or a company that's buying your time wholesale and then selling it retail, you're constantly going to be working for your money. And entrepreneurs don't make money that way. Yeah. Business owners don't make money that way. The reason most people that start a company hire employees is because that gives them leverage.
Right.
But in a traditional business, the more employees you have, the more responsibility you have. Versus in network marketing, the more distributors you have, the less responsibility you have.
Oh, there you go.
You can see the guy.
Yeah, I see it.
Anyway, so in network marketing, it's different. It's very different than traditional business and traditional sales. In sales, you make a sale and you get a check. That's great, but then you got to go out and make another sale to get another check. Unless your company continues to pay you for repurchases, so you want to have some type of a consumable product, something that people buy over and over again, and an infrastructure that pays you. That's why, online marketing is a great product if you've got a system where people reorder all the time.
Yeah.
Online. And it's not easy to start. There's nothing that's easy to start. It's going to there's going to be a learning curve, right? Absolutely. So you have to be prepared for that, because I'm involved in a new venture right now. I'm still heavily involved in my business, my network marketing business, but I've got a new venture that I'm working on where there's a massive learning curve. It's so much that I have to learn. I've been doing it for 2 months, haven't made a penny, but I'm learning a lot, and I'm trusting in the process that if I continue to stay down this path, because I've met lots of people that have had success with it, it's buying and selling land.
Oh wow. Oh yeah, I think you mentioned that before. Yeah.
So that's a new project that I'm excited about, that I'm working on 10 hours a week. I've
Mm.
got, I'm also, as you know, I'm a cigar smoker, and I've got my own cigar brand called Beach Money, Playa de Nero. And
Hmm.
that's another project that I'm working on. So got lots of little, but here, going back to your question, I love network marketing because for somebody that does not have money to start a business, it takes very, very little money. It has huge upside potential with unlimited growth potential. And then also it gives you the leverage of time, which you cannot get in almost any other business without investing a whole bunch of money.
I love that. I love that. And so you mentioned earlier on this episode about, making sure you have the right people around you, your network. With network marketing, what has that done for your network and its growth and building your email list? Tell us a little bit about that, because everybody wants to make sure that they continue to build their network.
Yeah, networking is about building relationships, and it's not about lots and lots and lots of people. It's
Right.
not about recruiting lots of people or selling to lots of people. It's about finding the right people that this is the right thing for them to be doing now. Because one person, the right person, can grow to 1,000 distributors, 5,000 distributors, 10,000. If you have 5,000 distributors on your team through the leverage of the team, if you have over time, let's say it takes you 3 years to have 5,000 distributors and they each have 5 customers. Well, that's 25,000 customers
Right.
that you're getting paid on each month.
Mm.
But you might have only brought, so like, for example, in the 19 years that I've been with my company, I've signed up about 650 people, which sounds like a lot, but that's only 3 a month. And you could do that working part-time. So it's about 3 people a month for 19 years. So it's about 650. From those 650, there's over 1 million customers. From the 650 and the growth of the team, there's over 1 million people that use our service every single month. And that throws off a residual check. So for 19 years, I've had a growing residual check that continues to feed my bank account. Without, if I wanted to stop working for a year or 2 years or 5 years, that check would continue to come in.
Wow, amazing. Now, you mentioned the next thing that I wanted to ask you about is your services. Tell us all what your services are and how you help people.
Absolutely. So our company is called Promptings, and Promptings is all about, it's an intuitive thought that leads you to take positive action. That's what a prompting is. It's an intuitive thought and we have those all day long. We all have promptings. I got to reach out to this person. I got to send a gift to this person.
Yeah.
I've got to set up an appointment with this person. But most of those promptings fall by the wayside. We forget about them. We think of them maybe in the middle of the night. We wake up in the morning. Oh, I got to call this person. You never do it. Or if you do, it's too late or whatever. So what ends up happening? So our founder, Cody Bateman, started a company that would allow you to act on your promptings. So when you think of somebody, you can jump on your phone or on your computer and have a personal card in the mail to them with a personalized message and pictures, where you hit the send button and the rest is done for you through our company. So you hit send, the card is printed, stuffed, sealed, stamped, and sent for you. And we've got gifts in the system that you can send as well. And so in our 19-year history, we've sent out 180 million cards.
Wow.
This week, because we're right before the holidays, we're sending out 150,000 cards a day right now.
My goodness.
I've personally sent thousands of cards over the past few days to people in my network.
Do people still do Christmas cards and not e-cards?
We're going to send out. Oh, there's nobody's doing e-cards right now.
Really?
Nobody. If you get 1 or 2 e-cards this year, I'd be surprised. First of all, 95% of them have viruses, so people don't open them because most of them are not real. But e-cards are a thing of the past. They don't even literally. People stopped sending e-cards probably 5 years ago.
Oh my God, I'm late on that then.
Christmas cards go, but it's hard to believe this, but the Christmas card sending is higher than it's ever been in history right now. But
Whoa.
it's done differently. It's done differently. It's done through cards, but people are buying it online, and then they're hitting send, and the cards are being shipped, right?
Right.
Either they're being shipped to them or to the customer. So we will send out 8 million cards between now and the end of the year, Christmas holiday cards
Wow.
for people, it's not us, it's for our customer base. People that have businesses send thank you cards to their customers with gifts. We have a air conditioning company that's got over 1,000 employees. And every year during the holidays, they send a card and a box of brownies. They spent $75,000 on brownies this year to send to their employees, to their 1,000 employees, along with a card, thanking them. Now, nobody does that. When you have if you have a company owner that does that with their employees, that creates retention, and retention has a lot of value because you don't have to rehire those people.
I'm getting the feeling it's because it's convenient. It's a click of a button and it can be sent out to everybody. Is that why everyone's doing this?
Yeah, I was actually, I wish I had a card. I have tons of cards. Let me just show you something here real quick. Yeah, the reason people are doing it is it makes it easier for them, but it also creates a connection. It creates a personal connection. And because the only thing people get in their mailboxes today are bills and advertisements.
Yes, that's true.
When you get a card in the mail, a personalized card, pictures.
Oh, sweet. Yes. It makes it personal.
Comes in an envelope.
Right.
So yeah. So this is what we do is so you listen for your promptings and you act on your promptings.
Right.
So you go, you know what? I need to send a get well card to my friend Jerry. You do it right then. I need to thank so-and-so. You do it right then. You send them a little gift card. I need to tell so-and-so that I love them. I've been thinking about them and I haven't talked to them in a long time. So you jump on your phone, you pick a card, you type a message, you add a couple pictures, and you hit send. And then a few days later, it lights up their day. That's what we do. And we have a program. If anybody's interested, we have a program. It's $20 to try it, and you get 10 cards and 10 stamps. Ooh. For $20, you get 10 cards and 10 stamps. And if you go to, where do I have my link? It's not on Jordan. It's on it's my link tree, which is Beach Money. It's my link tree. I mean, I don't know if you're familiar with that. Are you?
Familiar with Linktree? Yes.
Yeah, I have it in different places. If you follow me on Instagram, it's in my profile. It's at Beach Money Jordan, Beach Money Jordan. The link is in my profile. And if you click on that, it'll take you to the 10 card challenge. You can try it out if you want to.
Amazing. Amazing. Now, I know, Jordan, at this point, people are like, oh my goodness, I need to connect with Jordan. I need to find out more about what he does. So where can they go to connect with you?
Yeah, the best way to do that, Kay, would be to join me on Instagram at Beach Money Jordan. You can send me a message through there. You can, see what we got going on. That's probably the best place to go.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Now, before we end, do you have any last words to share with our audience today?
Yeah, just make sure that, so much today is transactional especially with the internet, and there's so much marketing going on. Everybody's marketing. And now with AI, it's going to multiply it times 1,000. We're getting tens of thousands of marketing messages a day. Everybody's trying to get. What you really need to do is shift your focus, do the opposite, give, and build relationships with people. Make it personal. That would be the first thing. And the second thing is you want to live and die by your calendar. That'll keep you on your days the days that you're having a down day, that'll keep you in action. So you want to make sure that your calendar is full during the time that you're planning to work your business. Make sure your calendar is full with meeting with people and building those relationships. And that's really where the magic happens. Always. Growth always happens in the relationships. It's not transactional.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it. Thanks again for coming on to the show. So many golden nuggets in such a short amount of time. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. It's great to see you. Thanks for the invitation, Kay.
Absolutely. Thanks for listening to Make Your Mark podcast at www.makeyourmarkpodcast.com. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you get this and every other episode that comes out. We have lots of great stuff coming, so make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss it. And thank you in advance for all the reviews and comments. I appreciate it so much, and I look forward to serving you in next week's episode.